What's up, guys? I'm Noob Genesis, and today I'm bringing another gameplay commentary, this time on Domination on Octane, and hold the fucking press! I'm not using a sniper rifle! Shh! Oh my god, calm down, calm down. It's all good, it's all good, it's all good! I'm actually using a, marksman rifle, so it's not really that big of a step up or whatever. But anyway, before I get into that, I want to quickly touch over a few things, because I've tried recording this commentary about 3 times now, because I can't fit all the information in at once, because this is kind of a hard thing to do really quickly. But anyway, first off, this is my first ever game with the gun I'm going to be using, with the, I don't even know what it's called, what does it say, IA-2. I've never used it before. This is my first game. Secondly, before that, I've only ever used one of the marksman rifle, and that was the first one. I've only got about 100 to 200 kills with it, so barely ever. Thirdly, this is the first time I've ever used, I've used a regular gun that wasn't a sniper rifle in about 2 weeks. So I've only used sniper rifles that whole time. And next up is also the fact that I was watching a live stream during this gameplay, like literally watching a live stream of one of my favorite anime YouTubers who just reached 100,000 subscribers, and he was doing Q&As and stuff like that, and I was actually partially typing as well at the same time. So even when I was paying attention, I couldn't sound whore. I could barely sound whore, and sound whoring is a big part of my gameplay, so if I had that, I could have done a lot better and whatnot. But anyway, moving on. The reason I mentioned those things is because what I want to talk about is pub stomping and Pubstompers' views on sniping, because it's starting to bug me. Now, first off, before I say anything, I am actually subscribed to a lot of Pubstompers. I enjoy watching pub stomping. I just don't enjoy doing it. And I'll put a commentary down below explaining why, but to sum it up, it's more the frustration outweighs the fun. Now, moving on to what bothers me about the way the Pubstompers talk about snipers. And this isn't all Pubstompers. I know some actually have quite a respect for it. But a lot of them have problems with quick scoping and stuff like that. And it's mostly quick scoping, which is another thing I don't understand, why they can tolerate hard scopers sitting in a corner, but they hate quick scopers. I don't get that. But anyway, I want to talk about a few things, and overall, it's going to be kind of controversial, so feel free to put your opinions below. Now, one of the big things is they always say it. Snipers are overpowered. Regardless of the game, it's always snipers are overpowered. The only ones they probably didn't say was Black Ops 1. They probably even said it during World at War, but of course there wasn't as much influence of YouTube back then, so you wouldn't have heard it as much. And that's another part of this. Most of this is coming from YouTubers or Twitch streamers saying it, because I don't really listen to players when I'm playing, because I normally have them muted because I'm normally on Skype. No offense to them, but that's just what I do. I'm normally on Skype. But anyway, moving on. Yeah, so they normally say that snipers are overpowered. Now, if you want me to, I've already started getting statistics between the AK-12 and the USR, pointing out why it's not overpowered. If you want to see me do an in-depth video pointing all those things out, then feel free to let me know in the comments, because I wouldn't actually mind doing that, and it'll probably help me back up this video rather than what I already know, as opposed to I can show it. So anyway, first off, one of the reasons it really bothers me when they say it's overpowered is because the word they're looking for is not overpowered, it's cheap. And the reason I say this is because the way they explain it, everything has to do with the word cheap, not overpowered. Now, the definition of overpowered is kind of relative to the actual game itself, and it is kind of governed by it, I guess you would say. Like, depending on the game, gives a different definition of the word overpowered. Now, in Call of Duty, the way I see overpowered is a gun or equipment that is one of the best in every situation. And a perfect example of this was the ACR in MW3. The ACR it was one of the best at everything. It was one of the best for, it was one of the most powerful at all ranges. It was one of the faster firing, or not fastest, but one of the faster firing for its class, and overall, with its damage, it had one of the fastest times to kills. It had a good reload speed, it had good iron sights, it had great recoil, one of the best recoil. Everything about it was good. Snipers have a lot of flaws. And one of the biggest ones that people mention that isn't a flaw, but one of the reasons they say it's overpowered, is because, in Ghosts in particular, is they also increase the hitboxes, so the legs and the stomach, like the upper legs and the lower stomach, count as one-shot kills. But the thing with that is you got to think about the fact that every single gun in this game is more powerful than the previous titles. If you put the snipers from this game into Black Ops 2, they would be overpowered as fuck, and I wouldn't disagree with that at all. But for this game, every gun kills so much quicker that it's kind of like it was a necessary balance to keep a sniper comparative to the rest of them. and like to the rest of the guns in the game. So I don't think that's a really good, very good argument that they use a lot of the time. So anyway, moving on with the whole cheap versus overpowered thing, is the reason I don't think it's that overpowered is because you got things like the aim down sight time is slow. We have to use quick draw. That's 3 perk points gone. And even when we use quick draw, assault rifles still are not even noticeable, but it's 8 milliseconds faster. So and that's when they don't have quick draw. So we're wasting 3 perk points for no reason at all just to keep up with an assault rifle. Our reload speed, as in our actual reload speeds, are normally closer to an LMG than they are than a assault rifle. Up close, the assault rifle, if we fire a bullet and we miss, our time to kill gets, like with the USR, drops to about 1,576, I think it is. That's including the aim down sight time, because quick scopers, we shoot, then we zoom out, then we zoom in and shoot. So that's about 1,576 milliseconds. A time to kill of an AK-12, including, like, not including the aim down sight time, without quick draw, would be 176 milliseconds for all 3 bullets to kill. With quick draw and without quick draw and aiming down sights, so the same. Yeah. Anyway, that would be 476 milliseconds, and with the quick draw attached as well, that would be 376 milliseconds that it takes to kill and aim down sight. Now, if you miss a bullet, that gets bumped up by a whopping 72 milliseconds as opposed to our 1,000 milliseconds. So you get a 10 times better, more than 10 times better benefit if you miss a bullet. In fact, you can kill us 4 times in the time it takes us to fire our second shot. That is ridiculous. How can you call a sniper overpowered if that is the case? Next up, you got to think about the fact that, yes, it's not only that if we miss our bullet, it's also if we get a hit marker. This still factors in the same thing. You don't have hit markers to worry about. We do. And another thing going on with the hit markers is a lot of people say that, oh, sniper rifles, you don't even have to actually hit them for it to connect and kill people or get a hit marker. That is true. That is actually true. But you know what's also true? The exact same thing with regular fully automatic guns. It's just that it's so much easier to see it with a sniper rifle. And the reason for, obviously, is because you can't obviously measure every single bullet with the naked eye. You have to slow it down with an assault rifle to show it. But it does the exact same thing. This isn't a weapon-specific thing. This is auto-aim with every single gun in the game. It is an inbuilt mechanic for all the guns. And obviously there is the auto-aim that does help snipers, but it has been lessened in this game. Still not what people wanted, but I have done videos before where I haven't used aim assist, and I still did fine. So that is another wash of an argument that I get sick of seeing. Alright, so the reason I say cheap is because I can't deny it. We have a one-shot kill potential after that 400 millisecond, or 300 millisecond with quick draw, aim down sight time. So after 300 milliseconds, or if we have the jump on you, we have the one-shot kill potential. There is no going around it. That is very deadly. That is arguably overpowered in itself. Not the gun or the sniping in general, just in itself, that is an overpowered feature. But the thing is, it's not the reason, because it's only overpowered for the one feature, and the reason I say that is specifically that one thing, not the overall gun, is why it is cheap. It means we have an advantage over you that you can't do anything about. That is our only advantage, but it's the only, you can't do anything about it. It's the same when you see a shotgun at point-blank range or an attack dog. The attack dog is overpowered because it's 5 kill streak, but it's not overpowered for what it does. The fact that you can't see it, so you can't hear it or anything around a corner is a little bit overpowered, but overall it's overpowered because of how many kills it takes, not what it actually does. Now, it is fucking cheap, however, because you cannot do anything against it. Same with an IMS, camping is cheap. You can't do anything against it. IEDs are cheap. They aren't the IEDs need a little slower timer, but it doesn't mean they're overpowered, it means they are cheap. Same with a sniper rifle. It is cheap, not overpowered. There is a very big difference between those two, and it really bugs me when people don't understand it. And I could probably do another commentary on the difference in depth, like of just cheap and overpowered, using many different guns as an example. But I'm running out of gameplay, so I probably won't do that right now. I won't even really touch on it. But the one thing I just want to leave anyone who is a red gunner, or, and again, this doesn't necessarily apply to Pubstompers, but because they are good players. But like, if someone is beating you with a sniper rifle, trust me when I say this, they will beat you even harder with a regular gun. And I know this is definitely true with me. If I beat you with a sniper rifle, I will destroy you with an actual regular gun. And again, think of all those things that I said at the start about this particular gameplay. I hadn't played with a normal gun in 2 weeks. I had never used this gun before, and I still pulled a 3KD without any trouble on my first game. No issue whatsoever. And I reckon that'll be the same with other snipers. So anyway guys, hope you enjoyed the commentary, and let me know what you think down below. And as always, have fun.